Hello and welcome. Welcome to our grammar quiz lesson. I'm so excited. How are you guys doing today on this beautiful Saturday? I hope you're doing well. Let's see, I'm going to say hello to everyone. Hello, welcome Lolly. Welcome Awab. Welcome Lek. Welcome. Are you ready to practice your grammar? Because I know I am. It's December, which means it's the best time to practice grammar, of course. It's the best time of the year for it. So today, like you've seen probably in the preview, today we are having an amazing lesson. We're going to do a grammar quiz. So I hope you have your brains, your thinking helmets on, your grammar helmets on, and you're ready to begin. Hello, welcome. Okay, so why are we doing this? Because I want you guys to practice your grammar. These questions that I have prepared for you today are difficult and they're easy at the same time, meaning that everyone can make these mistakes, whether you are advanced or whether you are a beginner, because I see this all the time. Students who are very, very advanced, and then they make these tiny little mistakes. I would just say they're just very, very common mistakes for English language learners. So let's brush up on that grammar. Let's get it right. Okay. So if you guys are ready, we're going to start. I have a few questions. We're just going to do a quick practice. I will show you the questions and then I will show you the answer and tell you why. Okay, so let's begin. Here is the first question. It's a little bit of an easier one. And if you are right now in the chat, make sure to write your answer down. In the chat, write the whole word. It's good practice. If you're watching this later, make sure to also write the answer down because we look forward to seeing those answers. Okay? So your first question is, sometimes English grammar can be, okay? What is the answer? Confused or confusing? What do you guys think? Write it down in the comments, okay? Again, make sure to write the whole word. Please, form that habit. Write the whole word because it's good practice. Is it confused or is it confusing? Which one is it? Ooh, I see a lot of good answers. If you answered confusing, you're correct. Okay, why is it confusing? This, like I said, it's an easier one, but I see so many people make mistakes that I have to address this. When do we use these ing adjectives? We are describing situations or a person's character. Okay, very important. Situations or a person's character. We used ed adjectives to describe emotions, like how are you feeling about something? If you feel confused, about something. Okay, so something is confusing to you or you feel confused about something. Do not get those mixed up, because then you could be switching the whole meaning of a sentence. For example, you don't want to say you're boring when you mean you are bored. That's when these become important. And all of these mistakes today, I will say this, some of them are small, but they become really significant when they interfere with meaning, when they change what you want to say, when they don't express what you're trying to communicate. That's when it becomes really important. Okay? So let's keep going. You guys are rocking this far. Perfect. Good job. So 1 out of 1. Good call. Good job. Okay, let's see the second one. Ta-da! Okay. This one has a very simple rule, but if you don't know it, you might get it wrong. And I see so many advanced students getting this one wrong. So here it is. I tomorrow Oh, sorry. I him when he tomorrow. Okay? The verbs are see and come. This is in the future. It's in the future. So make sure you time it accordingly. So is it I will see him tomorrow when he will come tomorrow? Is it I will see him when he comes tomorrow? Or is it I see him when he comes tomorrow? Or I see him when he will come tomorrow? Which one is it? Okay, so like I said, many students get this one wrong. Even advanced students, I've heard this all the time. So let's see what you guys are writing. I see some will see comes, comes. Okay, so some mixed answers there. Most of the answers I think are correct, but if you're wondering why, I will show you the answer. So here it is. This is the correct answer. I will see him when he comes tomorrow. A lot of the answers, so a lot of people that I've heard in the past, a lot of my students, even if they're very, very advanced, they will say something like, I will see him when he will come tomorrow. It makes sense, kind of, because we're respecting the rules that we think are correct, right? Like, we're talking about the future, so you use the future. But here's the thing. There's a rule in English when we're talking about future time clauses. So when we're talking about the future and use these time marker words like when he comes tomorrow or when he gets here or after or before, we have these words. That is, in that time clause, we use the present form of the verb. It sounds confusing, but it's really not. Just make sure you use the present tense. So if you're wrong, don't worry. This is one of those times when things are going to start sounding wrong. Like you'll hear native speakers speak like this, and at some point you'll be like, I will see him when he will come tomorrow. That sounds weird to me. And you might not know why, but it's because of this rule. It sounds weird because it's wrong. And that's what I wanted to emphasize today with a lot of these grammar rules. Some of them are super complicated. Trust your intuition, because English is one of those languages that has a lot of exceptions, but the exceptions will start resonating with you. Trust that. If it sounds wrong, it's probably wrong. Okay? So that is the answer, okay? So again, we'll have things like, I'll come home after I finish work. Or he'll turn off the TV before he leaves the office, not before he will leave the office. Even though both of these events happen in the future, you use the present tense with a time clause. Okay, so it's not difficult. It's a simple rule, and I actually really suggest studying up on this one because it's a nice rule that English always follows, which is not always the case with English. So whenever you see rules that don't really have exceptions, like follow them because they're hard to find with the English language. So just remember to use the present in the time clause when we're talking about the future. Okay, so I know you guys are saying, oh, it's terrible, it's difficult, it's confusing. No, it's not. It will become easier the more you use it. I promise. So if you got it wrong, just keep it in mind. Okay, this is something I need to work on. Again, if you are answering this, if you're watching this later, write it in the comments because we pay attention. Okay, ready for next lesson? For next question, here it comes. It's prepositions, because I know everyone gets them wrong. So here it is. We do live lessons Saturdays, which is today. Is it in, on, or at? Which one is it? In, on, or at? Which one? Live lessons in Saturdays, live lessons on Saturdays, live lessons at Saturdays. Let's see your answers. I see some on. Let's see if you guys are right. I don't know. You guys are right, yeah. We do live lessons on Saturdays. Now, the reason I put this on here is because it can be tricky for some people. I have heard students say like at Saturdays because I think they're thinking of the British at the weekend. So if you're thinking of that, keep in mind it's not. When we are talking about specific days, we use on. Okay? Days and dates on. If you made a mistake, don't worry. Prepositions are honestly difficult for everyone, regardless of how advanced you are, because they're so different in every country and every language that we speak. So sometimes we tend to translate directly from our language, and we tend to use that preposition that goes with it, and we make mistakes. Okay? So if we make that mistake, it's okay. Just make sure that you correct yourself every time. Okay, just make sure. And then the more you use it, the easier it will become. Okay? By the way, at is used for precise times. So like we say things at 3 p.m. or at 5 or whatever, precise times. And in we use for things like months or years or like long periods. So we'll say like in January or like in the 15th century or something like that. That's when we use it. It is difficult. Again, because we just kind of have to, we tend to translate from different languages, and that's what gets us. But the answer to all of these is more practice. So let's go, let's do more practice. Let's see how you guys are doing. Okay, this one is actually really difficult, okay? Even though you guys might not realize it. I'll tell you why in a second. San Francisco, great city by the way, is where Golden Gate Bridge is located. Beautiful bridge, you should go see it. Is it San Francisco is where a Golden Gate Bridge is located? Is it San Francisco is where the Golden Gate Bridge is located? Or is it San Francisco is where Golden Gate Bridge is located without an article? Which one is it? Okay? Which one? Articles are one of my favorites, okay? So what is the answer? I see a lot of the and some mixed answers, some mixed in bag in there. Let's see if you guys are right. And bonus if you know why, okay? The answer is the following. San Francisco is where the Golden Gate Bridge is located. Do you know why is the question? Because when I found this out, my mind was blown. First of all, I did not know that English has so many rules for articles. If you ever studied articles and you've studied them in depth, especially the article the, there are so many different rules. I feel like there are 18 or something. There's so many different ones. Basically, the rule here is that we put the in front of the names of bridges. It might sound crazy, but it's true. So if you have a bridge, we put the in front of it, in front of the name of the bridge. And that is literally the rule. So, you have the Golden Gate Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, the. I would like to emphasize what I wrote here, that there are many arbitrary rules, things that don't seem to make sense. So it doesn't seem like, oh, because of this or because of that. It's just the rule and you kind of have to memorize it. That's really what it is. And I wanted to show you some other things just because I find it very fascinating. For example, when else do we use the? This is just another example. We have so many more rules, but in front of museums. So for example, we don't say, I'm going to visit Louvre Museum. I'm going to visit the Louvre. You always put the Prado Museum, which is a fantastic museum, by the way, in Madrid. So you put the in front of museums also. You also do it in front of like a monument, like the Colosseum or the pyramids, like you want to visit the pyramids. Again, makes no sense, but there are exceptions to that too. So you don't say, I want to visit the Stonehenge. You say, I'll visit Stonehenge. or St. Peter's Basilica. So again, these do require memorization, kind of, in a way. But in a way, they will sound weird because to me, I could never get myself to say, I'm going to go visit the Stonehenge. It just sounds wrong. And the more English you expose yourself to, whether you are reading articles or, in the newspaper or whatever, or listening to the news, it will become easier. I promise, I promise, I promise. So don't despair. Don't despair. It's just something that you'll become used to. But check it out. We do have a lot of these rules, and we have some really good ones. By the way, for newspapers, it's the New York Times, the Washington Post, and so on. It's crazy, crazy, crazy English. Okay, so are you guys ready for the next one? Okay, this one's also a little bit difficult. The doctor recommends she some sleep. The doctor recommends she some sleep. Is it get? Is it gets? Is getting? Or will get? Which one is it? Get, gets, is getting, will get. What do you guys think? Again, write down your answer in the chat or in the comments. So this one, it might be different than how you expect it to be. It's just what I'm saying. So I see a bunch of different answers, which is good because I'll explain why the answer is what it is in a second. A lot of very different ones. Here is the answer, okay? I know this could surprise a lot of people, but the correct answer is the doctor recommends she get some sleep. Why? You're wondering. Why is it not get? We've always learned English, and we've learned, when you have he, she, or it, you always put that S, right? She gets, he gets, like, it seems to make sense, but we have this thing in English called a subjunctive, which is kind of an older formal grammar, and we use it in these dependent clauses for kind of very specific things like recommendations or expressing desires or demands or resolve. And that is when we do not use that S for third person singular. Okay, so the subjunctive is a weird one. It's right now it's mostly used. It's not really used formally that much in American English. In British English, it's not used that much at all. It's more common in American English, but we do see it quite often with these kinds of recommendations. So or questions like, is it necessary that she work all day, or something like that. It's kind of a tricky one. It's just, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it's good to recognize it and see why it is the way it is. It's not easy, but this is the correct way to say it. Because it's a recommendation in this case, the doctor recommends that she get some sleep. So it's good to recognize it. Again, like I said, it's because it's a little difficult and not very common. You don't have to use it yourself, but just be able to recognize how it is. Okay, so how are you guys doing so far? Did you get all of them right? How many do you have out of, because we've had 5 questions so far, how many did you get out of 5? Let's see. While you guys write that answer, I'm going to remind you that we are now on Patreon. And if you don't know what it is, you can check it out in the description. It's a really cool place where you can support us and get some really amazing rewards. We do a lot of exclusive content that's on there, and it's just for our Patreons. It's just a nice place to show your support and where we get really, really creative. So let's see, you guys are doing well. 5, 4s, 3s, good job. Okay, we're about to get some more, so let's see. Ta-da! Okay, let's see if you get this one right. okay? It's actually true for where we are today. Raining a lot lately. Is it it's raining a lot lately? Is it it'll be raining a lot lately? Or is it it's been raining a lot lately? Which one? Let's see how you guys are doing. Is it A, B, or C? It'll be, or it's been. And also, if you know why, I also like to see some of those answers. Okay, so I see some good answers. I see it has been, it'll be. I see some mixed answers, but let's share why. Okay, so the correct answer was it's been. Okay, it's been raining a lot lately. This is the present perfect continuous, if you're wondering what verb form it is. And why is it's been? It's a short form for it has been. It has been. And we use this, again, the present perfect is honestly one of the most difficult tenses in English. And it is also one of the most common ones. So you can't get around it. You have to use it, and you have to know why we use it the way we do. But the present perfect, especially the continuous, we use it for actions that started in the past and that are still happening right now or just finished happening. So that means, the streets are probably still wet. It's been raining a lot. It's raining now. Or even if it's not raining, the streets are wet because it has been raining a lot. With this, I would say a quick tip for you. Watch your pronunciation. You see that been, a lot of students I hear say they make the E sound like in cheese. It's not bean, it's been. It's a shortened I sound. Okay, it's been raining a lot, it's been raining a lot. I hear this mistake all the time, and I think it's easy to correct. So there you go. That's my pronunciation tip. Make sure that you follow it. Okay, how are you guys doing? Enjoying grammar? You should be proud of yourselves, even if you haven't gotten all of them right, because this is how you improve your English. You find out things and you practice them. So give yourselves a pat on the back for being here and for practicing with us, because you are doing amazing, and I'm super proud of you. Very, very proud. Okay, here's our next question. Which one is it? Okay? She stopped to smoke, or she stopped smoking. Okay? This one might seem easy, but it's not. Okay? I'm throwing a lot of things that could seem easy, but they're not. She stopped to smoke, or she stopped smoking. What is it? Let's see. So I see a lot of smoking. Everyone seems to agree that it is she stopped smoking. Wow, you guys are all unanimous in this decision almost. Oh, there's a C there. There's no C. Okay. I was tricking you. I'm so sorry. I was tricking you because they are both correct. But why are they both correct? And this is when it's very important, the meaning of what you're trying to say. Okay, so I'm sorry, again, I was trying to trick you. She stopped smoking is probably what most of you thought about. When I say she stopped smoking, it means that she quit smoking. It means that she does not smoke any longer. She's done. She's like, no more cigarettes. I am never smoking again. But what about she stopped to smoke? Why am I saying that is correct? Because it has a completely different meaning. We do this when we are talking about she stopped doing whatever she's doing, maybe walking or whatever, in order to smoke. So it's like she stopped, she took a break, and then she smoked. So she stopped. So this is when it's so important, like I said, that you use these gerunds and infinitives that we call them correctly, because it literally means two completely different things. So in one instance, she is not smoking, and in the other instance, she is smoking. So this is why you have to pay attention. If you say she stopped to smoke, but you mean she quit smoking, you are saying the wrong thing. So pay attention, right? Very, very, very important. as you might know, there are things that you need to remember with gerunds and infinitives. There are verbs sometimes that take both of them and they're both correct and they mean the same thing. Like, I like studying with interactive English, or I like to study with interactive English. Those mean the same thing. But when it comes to stop, pay attention, because you could be saying the opposite of what you're trying to say. Very important. Okay, so I hope you got that right. I'm sorry that I was trying to trick you. I promise for the next one, I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just trying to teach you. So here it goes. Okay, let's see which one you guys get. There was a on the table. Red big plastic hat, big red plastic hat, plastic big red hat, or big plastic red hat. Which one is it? There is only one correct answer this time. I promise no more tricks. Just one correct answer. Let's see which one you guys get. I'll give you a tip for this one. Just a quick little tip. Go with whatever sounds good. This is when you have to trust a little bit your intuition. So go with that. And if you don't have an intuition about it, don't worry. It's okay. You will develop it, I promise, over time. So I see a lot of, again, mixed answers. So let me explain why you probably have different answers. The correct answer was, I believe it was B, but it said, this is what it is. There was a big red plastic hat on the table. Big red plastic hat. Why is it this way? Why is it that, some things, this is the correct way of actually saying it? Well, because in English, adjectives follow a certain order when you have more. And the order is kind of like what I marked over there. First you have opinion, then you have size, then you have shape, then you have age, color, origin, material, and then the noun. So in this case, big, which is size, comes before the color, which comes comes before the color, and then that comes before the material, and then you have the noun. So that's the right order. And it is right. There's no is it right another way? No. This is the only correct way of mentioning it, okay? Big red plastic hat. Big red plastic hat on the table. So if you didn't get it right, don't worry. This is something that you can practice. You can follow a lot of these exercises and just kind of keep practicing, and it will start sounding natural, and things will sound off. Okay, very good. Okay, so that was it's not, like I said, it's not difficult. It's just something of a matter of practice. That's why I said these can be very difficult or they can be very easy. It depends. Okay, ready for the next one? It's gonna be different. I think this one's easy, but maybe it's not. You guys tell me. What do you think? Oh yeah, I did want to give you more examples for the other one. So we can say I have here a dirty old cotton sock, or a small Japanese serving bowl, or something like that. Those are just more examples of how you can play with these and keep practicing. Okay, sorry, back to the question. The keys with you when you come over tomorrow. Is it bring the keys with you when you come over tomorrow, or is it take the keys with you when you come over tomorrow? Which is it? There is, again, I promise, not trying, no more tricks for the rest of this test. Just one correct answer. Bring or take. Bring or take. I like that it's mixed. Everyone has a different opinion. It's bring or take. It's kind of mixed, so I will show you. What do you guys think? Again, write it in the comments. And do you know why? If you answer a certain way. The correct answer is bring. Bring the keys with you. Bring them with you when you come over tomorrow. I'm making this motion because when we use bring, we use it to show movement towards someone or something. So when I talk about you coming over tomorrow, you are coming to my house. which means it's the motion is towards me, right? Towards somebody or something. So you have to, that's when you use bring. But when you're talking about take, that has to do movement away, away from someone or something. So you say, take the keys when you leave. Take them with you when you leave. But bring them when you come. So the keywords here I'd say would be come, because coming has to do with come, like come here, right? Not leave. So any motion, anything that has to do with you or motion towards you, it's bring, and things that have to do with away from you, it is take. Again, this will become easier as you move along. I think you guys are doing amazing. You guys doing really well. So again, pat yourself on the back. Even if you got it wrong, this is a great opportunity to practice, okay? Tip, 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 tip. Exactly. Take the keys when you leave. Take them. Good example, Annie. Okay, wonderful. Now we have another one. Again, I'm not trying to be tricky, but this is something that people make mistakes with, so I wanted to bring it up. The sentence is, the euro has been used in Europe several years. Has been used in Europe several years. Is it since or is it for? Since or for? Has been used in Europe several years. What do you guys think? Since or for? Again, they're easily confused because many people learn that you use since and for with the present perfect, so everyone kind of uses them and then they end up using them interchangeably, but they're not actually used interchangeably. So let me show you what I mean. If you answered for, you are correct. The euro has been used in Europe for several years. Why is it for? Why? Why is it not since? Well, because we use for to talk about the duration of time, right? For a few years. But since, we use it to mark for a point in time. So like we'll say since 2004 or since I was a child. A point in time, when you talk about one specific point in time, you use since. And when you're talking about a duration, like we are talking about in this case, several years, 3 hours, 5 days, whatever, that's when we use for. So keep that in mind. They're simple rules, but of course, there's so many rules in English that it is normal to forget, so don't feel bad. Just keep on practicing. Keep on practicing, and I promise it will get easy. Things will sound wrong, and when they do, that's when they probably are wrong. So just kind of follow that, okay? So I hope you guys have enjoyed our lesson. If you didn't get all of them right, don't feel bad. This is not supposed to make you feel bad. It is just an opportunity to practice. That it's literally what it is. So hopefully now you'll remember that we put the in front of bridges, and that we talk about bring when we're talking about an action towards something. It's okay if you don't remember all of them. You can always rewatch this lesson. It doesn't matter if you got them all wrong. Maybe next time you'll get more correct. It's just an opportunity to practice. So I just wanted to thank you for joining us today. If you found this lesson useful, if you've learned something new, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Like it, share it with anyone who you think would find this interesting. I think a lot of these, even if you just correct a little bit, will get you closer to sounding like a native English speaker, which is kind of what we all want to sound like, right? So keep on practicing. You guys are doing amazing. Great job today. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, Judy Long, Zenat, Ekram. Thank you, Uyen, for joining us again on this beautiful Saturday. You guys have a nice weekend. And keep practicing and you will do amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.